I imagine having that kind of experience is will change your life forever. Uh, is that the case for most people? What happens after a group like that?
The Satori experience is a truth that is there and is irrefutable, and it's yours. And of course, you have to do the work. Now, a lot of people, for instance, have enlightenment experiences. They go into states of Satori for 2 or 3 months. I'm not talking in the group now, I mean just generally outside of the group. And very often it fades, it goes. It doesn't last because you have to do the work.
What does that mean? You do the work.
Yes, it sounds a bit ominous, doesn't it, perhaps? It's the truth. You have to wake up. You have to go through the experience of seeing. You have to come to that place of clarity in your life. And you may have this Satori experience, but if you haven't actually gone through process after process in your own journey, if you haven't come to a very deep understanding of yourself, that the immediate clarity of it will fade. It doesn't mean you ever forget it. It doesn't mean it isn't there in you, in your system forever. But it does mean that you can't suddenly take a leap into another into that being a permanent state of bliss. You can touch in on that bliss, but it's not necessarily going to, well, it might be sometimes, but usually isn't, because we have to continue. But what the Satori does, what that experience does, it says, hey, this is possible. It's almost like every Satori is such an encouragement. Every Satori experience I had when I was doing these groups myself, participating, I mean, has stayed with me and is part of my truth, part of my knowledge, part of my understanding. It's there in some place in me that is sane. That's a good word for it, really. It comes out of the insanity in that moment of clarity, that moment of absolute perception, that moment of absolute knowing. That will remain with me as a part of me forever. I may not live in the high forever. I may not live in that Satori experience forever, but that truth is with me. And having that truth with me is it's almost as if, well, goodness, I really have a reason now to go on searching because I know that this is possible and I know this is true. I know, for instance, not because somebody's told me, not because I've been to a master, not because I've done a lot of therapy and looked at myself. I know, for instance, on some very deep, deep level, that I am utterly and completely responsible for myself.